Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review video and it is of the Makeup Revolution Focus and Fix Primer, and I have the original, so it comes in a little tube like this with some shiny writing on it that you can't really read but trust me, that's what it is. So I have the original, as I said. This retails for $2.50. And unfortunately I don't know how much you get in here, and I couldn't find how much on the website, which is a bit annoying. But I would guess maybe 5 ml, something like that. I don't think it's a massive amount, but it's a nice sort of size tube. Now, let's go with, so this is the original. As I said, you can get a matte one and a light one. I possibly should have gone for the matte one in High Insight, but I didn't realise this is how it worked. It has a nice doe foot applicator. It's incredibly runny consistency. If I put some there, you can see loads comes off on my hand, and it is a fleshy tone colour. Oh, I've still got swatches. I stained my hand with swatches from my favourites video, so you can see it rubs in and it just spreads all over my hand. So as you can imagine, if you put that much onto your eyelid, you've put on too much. So what I do when I'm using this is I put it onto the back of my hand and then I'll dab my finger and use it that way, so I don't put on too much onto my eyelids. I'm not the biggest fan of this, although it's, you know, it's nice and it doesn't need very much on your eyelid. It's flesh toned. The consistency is a wee bit too thin for my liking, so it doesn't really feel like there's anything to help. I don't know, it's just, I'm so used to using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and obviously it's quite thick. It's, you know, it's a cream product, so it's very, very different. But I have used the Urban Decay one, and I would think this is thinner than the Urban Decay primer. You know, I think it's Primer Potion. This is much thinner in consistency. It's really runny. If I put a bit more, it's not going to run down my hand, anything like that. But it just spreads so much, and like I've just primed the back, the whole entire back of my hand with just a wee bit. Very, very, very thin consistency. Said that enough times. I didn't have much luck with this at all. I've used, as I said, the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I also used the Bare Minerals eyelid primer. So they would have similar consistencies, and this is thinner than both of those. Both of those always helped I didn't get any creasing with either of those, and I didn't need very much. Again, similar to this, don't need very much. You just pop a wee bit on, and I would often pop a bit there from the same drop with those ones, and you can rub it in with your finger. This almost felt like it disappeared off my lid, if that makes sense. So I would rub it in and it felt like there was nothing there, and it doesn't help my eyeshadows pop in any way, shape or form. I'm aware it may not be supposed to, but with most primers they cover any blueness on my eyelids or any veining. They generally cover that pretty well. There will always be a little bit peeking through unless you're using a Painterly Paint Pot, in which case it will cover everything. That's why I love it so much, I guess. But this doesn't really help on that front, and it also didn't help my eyeshadow last at all, really. I maybe got 3 hours, possibly 4. I had a real push before it was really just, you know, not good. I have put it on today, but it has only been on maybe half an hour, so we're not going to see much creasing. But something I noticed, so when I apply it with my finger and I rub it all over my lid, and you're moving your lid about while you're doing the rest of your face and getting ready and blinking, and we all blink a huge amount all of the time, but this was creasing on my eyelid before I'd even done anything else to it. You know, I could see creases on it, so I would dab it back in with my finger and it would crease again before I even put the eyeshadow on, which is a bit frustrating. And with the eyeshadow, I noticed it initially when I popped up to the bathroom just before my lunch break, and I just happened to look in the mirror. Oh, I was like, oh, I must check how that's doing, and it was like most of my eyeshadow was off. It was, my eyeshadow had gone really creasy, and you could see the lines of where the eyeshadow had sunk in, you know, that kind of trail across your lid. Serious creasing there, and my eyelid looked really greasy and oily and not pleasant at all, to the extent I was trying to fix it with my finger and I just had to get a tissue to dab it off. So I was blotting the eyelid, which is just, I just couldn't get my head around that. I'm aware it's only $2.50, but I've used the MUA one when I was doing my makeup training. I was just playing with it, and it actually lasted longer than this, and it's cheaper than this. So this, I wouldn't really recommend it. I might consider trying the matte one to see if it's any better, but I almost don't want to waste my money. But I suppose it would be good to see if the matte one helped to keep my oily lids less oily. But I've never really had issues with oily lids as such. Maybe because I've used the Urban Decay one and the Bare Minerals one, and both of those, the original, you know, the fine, they don't work, or they don't have any issues with my oily lids. I didn't have any issues with oily lids when I used those, and I don't have any issues with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So maybe I do, and they're just such good products, it's never an issue. But this just didn't cope at all, basically. It's just not a patch on some of the better primers out there. If you have really dry lids, maybe test this out, and if you have used this and you have dry lids, let me know down below if it actually works really well for you. I would love to know. It's such a shame because I love Makeup Revolution. I have some of their eyeshadows and that kind of stuff, and I'm actually wearing one of their mascaras today. Really like it, but this, no, not at all. Wouldn't really recommend it, especially if you live anywhere where it's hot or anything like that. This is just gonna, your makeup will just slide off your lid, which is disappointing. I thought, you know, it could be a real gem, but it just doesn't work. And I tried it with multiple different eyeshadows, so it wasn't the eyeshadows, and it doesn't really help anything pop. Like, I had to really layer up my eyeshadow today to get the same payoff that I would have if I'd used my MAC Painterly Paint Pot or one of the other primers that I've mentioned. So I'm annoyed to be having to give it a bad review, because as I said, I like Makeup Revolution, but I just do not like this product, unfortunately, sadly. If you've any questions, please let me know down below. As I said, if you've used it, you had really good results, let us know down below, and let me know how you applied it. I've tried applying it with my finger, and I've tried applying it from the back of my hand onto my lid, with my finger I mean, and directly onto my lid, and use my finger to blend it out, and also the same with a tiny brush, stiff brush, and no joy there either. So I've tried it different ways just to see, but yeah. So thank you very, very much for watching. Please like if you liked, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.